Hey everyone, and welcome back. Now today I want to talk about Doge because we're seeing Doge continue to do really, really well. And so I want to talk about if we think Doge could hit $1 in 2025. And honestly, I think it's very, very possible. And we're going to go over why, and we're going to look at some of the data and all that type of stuff. Obviously, this is not financial advice, so you can make your own decision, but I'm at least going to present the data and the argument of why I think it's possible, and then we'll kind of go from there. So anyway, let's go ahead, dive right in. Starting out, we're going to look at crypto bubbles, and what we can see, Doge down about 0.5% on the day. Overall, the market, everything is looking pretty good overall here. So, things looking good. Obviously, if we look the week, things look even more bullish, and if we look at the month, things look unbelievably bullish overall. So things are definitely looking pretty crazy here. Overall, I think that the crypto market's in a pretty good spot. I do see, potentially a little bit of concern that maybe we see a little bit of a pullback just because things have gone so nuts. I mean, look, this is in just 1 month, and we're seeing how many 100+% gainers on here. I mean, it's insane. So anyway, that's kind of what we're looking at here. Now, looking at the Doge chart though, we can see something really impressive, honestly. We can see we were down here hitting lows kind of in early September of about 9 cents. We're now sitting at like 42 cents. We saw prices hitting up to like 47, 48 cents. So, I mean, things looking really good here. We have even kept this upward channel. So even though we did pull back kind of a tiny bit, but overall we're keeping a general upward channel as we're continuing to move up. And we can see volume on Doge has absolutely exploded. I don't think this is too much of a surprise to anybody, but things are looking really, really strong here. And as we can see, looking at the fib levels, we were kind of fighting with this 0.5 level. We've kind of been a little bit above and a little bit below it. We have at least flipped it and turned it into a support at this point. We could see we did struggle with this 0.618 range when we kind of waked up to this level. So I would imagine, we're probably going to see a little bit of resistance coming up to this 0.618. And then after that, obviously we're going to be looking for 786 and then back to 1. And then from there, it's just talking all about the fib extensions. And here, if we look at the 1618 range, that puts us over $1. And 1618, we're going to look at some other pieces of data, but I think 1618 does not at all seem to be too far out of reach, if you ask me. So first off, obviously we need to kind of get back to previous all-time highs. But other than that, I do think it's very possible. And with a chart like this and the amount of volume that we're putting in at this level, things looking really good. If we look at the Doge chart, we can see all-time highs just shy of 70 cents up here, 68 cents kind of being the all-time high. Now, if we look at market cap, we'll see something similar but different, because remember, Doge is always kind of inflating. And so when we look at the all-time high here, we see a market cap of just shy of 89 billion. We're sitting at about just about 63 billion at this point. We have done the math before on this channel. I believe for Doge to hit $1, it's somewhere around 144 billion. So obviously a massive amount. If we are to go look at kind of the total crypto category, 140 billion would put it in number 3, right in front of Tether, including ahead of Solana and XRP. Now, we need to remember that we've seen XRP move like crazy over the past month. We've seen Solana move like crazy over the past year. So I think it's possible, that potentially XRP sees 200 billion, maybe Solana sees 300 or 400 billion, maybe Ethereum cracks $1 trillion this run. It's hard to say, but if we start to see moves like that, then I think seeing Doge at 144 billion likely isn't too big of it's not too unreasonable of a request. And one of the things that we can see here is looking at Twitter, because the Department of Government Efficiency is officially a thing. And so we can see already 2.2 million followers here, and the tag is @Doge. Elon's bull posted Dogecoin before. I mean, the majority of the reason that Doge hit its previous all-time highs in the last cycle, I mean, this is when Elon was bull posting Doge like crazy. And so, I mean, there's definitely he has a lot of control over the price of this asset. And if we look, we can see, I mean, this is a ton of free advertising for Dogecoin. And especially if a alt season similar to last kicks off, I think we're going to see something very, very similar like this run happen, just because of the increased kind of marketing and visibility of the Doge moniker. And I'm sure some of that will kind of flow back to the Doge meme. Now, the other thing I want to take a look at from a more technical perspective as well is we can see we're sitting at about 1.43 trillion on the total 2 market cap. So this is everything excluding Bitcoin. So Ethereum all the way down. And what we can see is we're actually kind of running in to this fib level here. I believe this is the 786 level. Yes, we're running into the 786 fib level here. And Obviously, you know, breaking it would be wonderful. It looks like, given the momentum that we're seeing, we probably will. Next will be the 1.47. This is what we kind of saw as like previous local tops before we came and hit that all-time high of 1.7 trillion here at kind of the top of the market here. So, you know, we're hitting the 786 level, then we're going to have the 47, and then obviously, you know, the 1 and the 1.7 trillion range, those are the same because that's the previous all-time high. And then from here, we start looking at extensions, and there's two extensions that I want to focus on primarily. You may think, well, we probably, you know, should zoom further out and look at some of these other extensions. I'll talk about them, but I don't really necessarily believe that we're really going to be looking at the 3618 or 4236 range. That's just my opinion. I think 1618 is very, very doable. I think 2618 is probably somewhat realistic. Any of these, I think we're going to need to see kind of some beneficial things happening and some things kind of going our way. Interest rates coming down, you know, massive mania surrounding like speculation type assets, all of those types of things. I mean, that's really what we're going to need to see these types of things kind of come to pass. But looking here at the 1618 range, that's 2.49 trillion. Now that would be about a total of just shy of a 2x in the market. So, you know, if we were to kind of map kind of the total 2 over everything, just shy of a 2x would not get Doge to the dollar range. That would put us probably somewhere around 80-85 cents, assuming kind of Doge moved up with the rest of the market and didn't overperform or underperform. Now, if we were to hit this 2618 range, that's 3.77 trillion. That puts us at like 150% gains, so like 2.5x roughly. This is something that, you know, like I said, I also do think is very doable. And so if we were to hit this range, I mean, Doge definitely hits $1. It probably hits closer to $1.20, $1.30 maybe. This is something that I definitely think is possible and we could expect to see. Obviously not financial advice. I have no clue what's going to happen in the future. I don't have a crystal ball, so it's, you know, not really possible for me to tell for certain. But I do think, just kind of given what we've seen so far, the amount that we've seen move up in terms of like the crypto total market cap, the volume we're seeing, the open interest we've seen, the amount of money flooding into stable coins, like there's a lot of things going on that I think a move up to the 3.77 trillion range is definitely doable. And so that's kind of what I'm thinking here. If we do hit this point, then I do think like Doge hitting $1 is probably relatively reasonable. You know, looking before, you know, that is 144 billion in market cap. But I mean, if we're seeing some of these top tier coins, you know, blasting through 200, 300, 400 billion, Ethereum cracking $1 trillion, stuff like that, I mean, I think it's very, very possible that we see something like that. So anyway, that's kind of what I'm thinking for Doge. If we were to hit kind of that maximum, or at least what I think the maximum like 2618 range, you know, maybe Doge $1.25, I think is probably very doable. I think if the Department of Government Efficiency continues to gather you know, a ton of headlines and, you know, potentially like deliver and do a lot of this stuff that's like essentially keeping it in the headlines 24/7, I think people are going to be shortening it a lot to Doge. I think that's going to flow at least some attention and eyes into Dogecoin. So, you know, Dogecoin is definitely setting up to be in a very, very interesting situation over these next couple of years. And so it's something that I'm definitely I'm not taking my eye off. I'm keeping my eye on it for sure, because I do think we realistically could see in that dollar range. So anyway, that's kind of what I'm looking at. Hopefully you found the information in this video useful. If you did, please do give me a like and subscribe. Also, if you are wanting to trade Doge or anything like that, I do have that Margex link below. We were using Margex to kind of look at the chart and all that type of stuff. So if it is something you're interested in using, just feel free to check that link in the description. They have up to $10,000 in deposit bonuses, as well as no KYC or VPN. Also, if you have any comments, questions, concerns, anything like that, feel free to drop those in the comment section. I do try to read and respond to all of them. So if you have anything you want me to see, feel free to drop it there. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video.